Hey guys, welcome back to Homestead Prepping and Survival. So I'm going to do something a little bit different today. I'm going to take my get home bag and I'm going to go through everything in that bag and I'm going to show you what I have in there, because it's time for me to change some of that stuff to winter. Now I have packed a few extra things for clothing and stuff in there, but I'm going to pull it all out today. Everything that I keep in there, a lot of people are going to say, oh, that's too much stuff to tote. Well, I know what the bag weighs, which is about 31 pounds total. And where I work's not that far from my house. So I have ways to get it home other than putting it on my back, even if my truck or vehicles don't work. So I'm going to go through this thing and try to give y'all some ideas as to what I have in my bag, what works for me. A lot of people are going to be different. Everybody's going to have their own preferences. It depends on, how far you've got to go, what are the conditions you're going to have to go through. It depends on your physical ability. What can you tote? Most people want to tote about 25 to 30% of what their body weight is, depending on how physically fit they are. So I actually have a thing called Rocky Mountain Spotted Fever. So I've lost a lot of my physical strength in the last 3 years, and therefore I've tried to keep my bag as light as possible. But being a realist, I do realize that it may take me more than a day to get home. And not because of the distance, but because I may not be able to physically walk that far if that's what I had to do. So let's get started with it today. I'm going to try to go ahead and start on this bag. I'm going to start at the top, work my way down, go through the side pockets, all of it. I'm going to show you what I have on here. Now, one side note, I do have a plate carrier that I keep in the truck. It's got my spare rifle mags and pistol mags on it. I've got a med kit on the side. So you're not going to see a medical kit in this bag, because whether I bring this bag or not, that medical kit stays attached to my plate carrier because it needs to be with me wherever I go and whatever I do. So yeah, that light's killing me on the glasses. But anyway, so I'm going to set this thing on the floor, start opening up compartments, and let's see what I've got in the bag. I didn't plan this ahead of time, so you're going to see the real deal. I haven't been through this bag in at least 2 months, month and a half, 2 months. So you're going to see the real stuff of what I have in my bag. Now, for those of you that say that's too much stuff, you don't need this, you don't need that, let me tell you something. Why do you prep? You prep because you want to be ready if you need it. Well, if I need it, it's in this bag. If I don't, it's not going to hurt me to drop it or stash it somewhere and go back for it. So I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay? So first side pocket, I've got to cut the clasps loose so I can unzip all the way down. Something we talked about on the last video with Laura was here is mini Sawyer water filter. So I've got in a Ziploc bag, I've got the syringe that comes with it. That's for back flushing the mini Sawyer. So you can, if it gets dirty, you can back flush fresh water through it and be able to clean more water for you to drink. So it comes with the bag that'll screw onto the filter, or you can screw on like 16 or 20 ounce drink bottle on here, so you can carry water with you. So the bag comes in handy for that. The filter's back washable. You've got the syringe with it for that. And it also has a straw. So if you needed to just use this to drink from a source of water, I put it on the bottom. It says flow that direction. So I'd pop the top off, put that straw on there, and I could put this in the water, or I could put the straw on that end if I don't want to get my face that close down, and drink from that way. Okay? So mini Sawyers are a great thing to keep in your go bag. So I'm going to pile this stuff on the table in front of me. Another thing I keep in that same kit, and you can tell it's all beat up, I've had it in there for a while, or is some water treatment tablets. So if I can't filter the water, or if there's not a really necessity for me to be able to use that, maybe I want to fill up a canteen or a bottle or something with water and I want to treat it while I'm moving. So I can put these tablets in there and treat that water, and it's ready to drink in 20, 30, 40 minutes, whatever the time is on here. But also it's got the second bottle inside this kit that will help it taste better, because when you add iodine to the water, it makes it taste terrible. And you put this tablet in there, it helps neutralize some of that taste so that it's palatable for you to be able to drink it. Okay, so that's the first thing in my side pocket. The second thing is I keep a 20-ounce bottle, and you can tell this is a bottle that I peeled the label off of, and I've got that lid on tight. I ain't even trying right now. There we go. All right, so I've got it full of water, and that's my, like I said in the last video, my whole house water is filtered with a carbon filter down to 0.05 microns. So that's very, very good filter, and this water lasts and tastes fresh for a very long time. So I start off with a 20 ounce. I don't have the Camelback, which I do have one, but I don't have it in my bag because it's too much weight for me to carry. I can carry this couple of ounces of the water filter in the bag and tablets and this bottle, and not have that extra 8 pounds of water or more in my bag. So where I live, there are literally creeks every quarter mile. If I've got a map actually that's printed out for my entire area, and it shows all the water sources in our area. And if you think there's a lot of roads on the map, you should see all the little creeks and ponds and things that are in my area. I'm never more than a quarter mile from a water source. So this is all I really need to keep in my get home bag. Now, that's all that's in that side pocket right there. I'm going to spin the bag around, and I'm going to open up the right side. By the way, I'm doing this for the first time. I'm recording it with my laptop because my phone just does not have the memory ability to be able to hold a video that's much longer than 20, 30 minutes. And I just don't want to keep doing that and then waiting for it to upload and having to delete the video afterwards. So this way, I've got a half a terabyte in this computer that's just for saving videos. So I can do this, and hopefully the sound quality and the video quality will be good for you guys. If not, you let me know, and I can go back to using my phone until I get something else. But anyway, let's move to this right pocket. So the first thing I keep in here is a little kit. Actually, my sister bought me this years ago, and every bag I've ever done, I've kept this with me. Now, those that know me know I cut meat for many, many years. Worked in grocery stores and so on. So I have skinned and processed more animals than I'll probably eat in my life with this knife. It holds an edge well. It's got the skinning part on the back of it. And I absolutely love that knife. It's a very solid full tang knife. It does a very good job for me. So the second thing that's on this little pouch is a pretty heavy one-piece hatchet with the full tang handle. So if I need to do some small limb clearing or cutting to build some type of shelter, and this thing is sharp. I mean, it'll shave the hair off my arm. So I keep this in there. Yes, this is heavy. This adds a lot of weight compared to the item, but it's something you really can't replace when you've got to have it. So I'm going to snap these back in there because I don't want to have to do this later. And hopefully this video working with the laptop will allow me the extra time to go through this right and do it right. So now I'm going to lay that kit down on the table. Let's see what else is in this side kit. So another thing, I showed y'all on one of the other videos how to EMP protect some small devices. So this is, let me get it open here, where I keep ham radio. So you see I turn it on.
Channel mode.
It's going to come on. It's going to work. These batteries hold their charge a very good length of time. And these radios, like I've said before, I've got them programmed to a certain frequency and certain channels that my group would be using. So we have a time frame that we use the radios, and you know, you don't have to keep it on 24/7, but it is protected in this container. So I'm gonna put it back in there. I'll seal it up later. All right, so then the next thing in that same pouch is a SAM splint too. So if you can see that, basically if I get an injured limb, arm, leg or something, I can unfold this thing and wrap it around the injury where the bone may be splintered or broken or whatever, and give it some strength to where I can try to at least continue moving to get to either help or get home, which is what I typically am trying to do, is get home. So, all right, so that side compartment is completely empty. So now I'm going to move on to the back compartment, which is a little bitty pouch on top. I actually don't have anything in there. At one time I did keep a Ziploc bag with extra ammo for my pistol, but with my tactical belt and my mags on there, plus the mags on my plate carrier and the mag already in the firearm, arms multiple, I just don't need to tote extra ammo. That's weight that I don't need. If I go through a couple of 100 rounds, it's probably a fight that I'm not going to be in by myself. Sometimes you've got to have the mindset, is this something I want to face, or is this something I want to avoid? Do I need to detour and go another path because there's a problem up ahead, or do I need to take my chances? And honestly, taking chances is not what prepping is all about. So that's not something I want to do. So that little pouch is empty. Now I'm going to move to up under the straps. There is a back. Oh my goodness. All right, and the phone rings. So hold on one second. All right, guys. Sorry, I was staring at the thing because it didn't look like it started back up. So I'm gonna go through this next section now. I'm gonna open this main pouch up. It is the largest pouch on here. It's where most of the big items are stored. All right, and I started on this back one. So I actually don't keep anything in that back because it's got the firm plates to help keep things from poking into my back. But that's where your water bladder and things would go if you had it in there. I don't have that in there because I'm just not able to tote that much weight. I don't need a 50-pound get home bag. This thing, with what I've got in it, like I say, it weighs about 31 pounds total. But I can dump some of this stuff if I don't need it, so that I can move faster and with less problems on, you know, my old out of shape self, or at least out of shape in some people's eyes. All right, so in the main pouch, just in the big part of it, it's got a lot of little pockets inside we'll go through. One is I keep a utensil. Some of y'all can see that. It folds out to a fork on one side, a spoon on the other side, and so on. And this thing actually comes apart and locks together. So, but it's got a knife, it's got a can opener, corkscrew, a little saw blade, all that little stuff in there. But I really keep it for the fork and the spoon because I get hungry, okay? So something else that I do keep is tuna fish. A lot of people don't like it, but I like this little pouch because it's lightweight and there's a lot of calories and protein in this pack. So I keep this in there as well. All right, a couple other things. Like I say, if I don't need it, I can stash it and go back for it, or dump it if I don't have to go back. But I keep a couple of MREs in the case or in the bag, so that it's actually more than a couple. If I'm having to take my daughters and son-in-laws, grandkids, whatever, you know, they're hungry and it's taking longer to get home than thought it would be. I've already showed you two. There's two more. So, and to go along with the tuna fish that I showed you, I'm not a big by itself plain tuna fish eater. I do like it, but vacuum seal some saltine crackers. They will stay fresh a very long time, vacuum sealed in this package. So I've got, and they don't weigh anything, but it'll help fill your belly up if that's all you've got, and it goes well with the other stuff. So, all right, a second pack of tuna. So I've got 2 of those pouch packs of tuna. I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, right at 32 pack of the saltine crackers that are vacuum sealed in those packages for me. So that, you know, that plus the tuna fish, that'll fill your belly up and let you keep going without having to stop and hunt or fix food. So next thing is I've got a stainless steel water bottle, and I actually recently ordered this within the last couple of months. And the reason I do that is because if I need to sterilize water, I can put it in this stainless steel one, and I can put it over a fire, and I can boil water, and it's large enough that by the time it stops, you know, it boils, I'm not lost most of what I need to be consuming, you know, due to steam and all of that. So I got the larger one. It's stainless steel. There's no coating inside, no coating outside, so it'll hold up. The only thing you do have to be careful with, it has a rubber seal, and it comes with a spare, which is in this bag. So this seals up really nice. I haven't had a problem with it leaking. And that gives me another, oh my goodness, I can't remember. I think 36 ounces of water in here. And yes, it's just plain water, just like that bottle. So I'm going to set that to the side. So the next thing I keep in is I keep 2 pair of gloves. These are just the net gloves, so they're not thick at all. You can see through them. This is more for concealment if I need to kind of disguise myself so that I can blend in with some wooded whatever to avoid problems. So I keep these in there. They're very lightweight, and they're a little bit large on me, so they'll fit over my other gloves that I'm fixing to show you here. So I keep those just for that reason. I may need concealment, and this blends in my area very well. So I'm going to throw it into the side. Then I've got another set of gloves, and these, I've actually had several pair of these gloves. It's just a CLC Work Gear Handyman. It's got the knuckle pads. It's really, the dexterity in these gloves is, to me, is pretty good compared to most gloves that I wear. So I like them. They're thick enough to keep my fingers from getting frozen, or if I'm handling something hot, you know, for a short time, they work really well for that. So I keep these in the go bag. Next thing I do, which I'm not going to unfold and show you everything here, but I've got a set of camouflage jumpsuit. So I can put, and it's actually not a complete jumpsuit, it's a suspender style. So it'll cover me all the way, you know, up mid-chest or whatever. And I roll that up after I've folded it. And in that, I've got a pair of pants, cargo type pants, so that I can have the pockets that I like. I've got a spare pullover t-shirt style shirt. I've got underclothes and a pair of socks, all rolled up into this one package, so that if I need to change clothes because I got wet or whatever, I've got it in the bag. Now that does weigh a little bit, but it's not heavy. It takes up a lot more space than it does with the weight. All right, so then I'm gonna open up the little pouch in the back of the inside here. I've got what I call a fire starter kit that I make myself. I've got a couple sets of box matches. I've got some Strike Anywhere matches inside a Ziploc bag that's inside this Ziploc bag. I've got cotton balls, and I've actually got some fire starter sticks in here. Plus, if I open it up, there's a little medicine bottle right inside right here that has Vaseline in it, because Vaseline is a petroleum product. You dip that cotton ball in that Vaseline. Once you ignite the dry side of the cotton ball and that Vaseline lights, it'll burn for 5+ minutes. It'll help you maintain that flame so you can get a fire started if that's what you're trying to do. So I've got everything I need in this kit. I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing something, and I am, to get a fire started. So the rule in prepping is 1 is none and 2 is 1. So you always have a backup to whatever your primary source is. First is I smoke and I shouldn't. So I've always got at least one lighter on me at all times. So the matches would be my backup to that. And if the matches fail, I've got the ferro rod in here with the striker that I could easily light this cotton tinder with, and the Vaseline, and help get a fire started. I've done it. It's not hard to do. Okay, you'd be surprised. And there's an extra big lighter in there. I don't like them little cheap ones that Indians give you in a convenience store. They don't last long. They don't strike well. They're hard to get lit. And when your fingers are cold, if you're losing dexterity, you don't need to fight with how you're starting to light fire. So I've got multiple ways to start a fire in this one kit, and it stays inside the bag, deep at the bottom, so that if I get rained on, this bag is rain resistant, but it's not 100% waterproof. This is going to stay dry because of the double layer Ziploc bags that it's in. Alright, so then we're going to go to the front side pouches. The one up front at the bottom, I have nothing in. The middle one, oh, there's some more crackers. I'm not going to starve to death, am I? That's all that was in there. And then in the top little Ziploc pouch, there's actually nothing in there either. So that's all that's inside. Yep, double checking. That's all that's inside my bag. The clothes took up most of the room with the MREs and the water bottle. So basically I've got fire starter in there, food, and extra clothing. That's what's in the middle of my bag because it's bulky and I don't want all that stuff poking me in the back while I'm trying to wear my pack. If I'm wearing it, my plan is not to have to. So anyway, and then on the outside, I've actually got a few of these carabiners, I can't hardly show you, that are clipped over the outside of the bag. That's going to just come in handy if I needed to make shelter and, you know, tie my 550 paracord to it, which we will get to in a little bit, to help secure it without having to struggle too much. So all right, on the front side of the main pouch is a small zippered container, and in there is that spare water bottle silicone seal that I told you I kept in it. Also in there is some Kleenex tissues, a small container of hand sanitizer, and a roll of toilet paper. Because I don't care who you are, you gotta go, okay? And when you gotta go, I don't want to use my hand. Just saying. So it's in a Ziploc bag to help keep it dry and fresh, and it goes in a compartment up top, the first one you get to on the front top side of the bag, so I don't have to go through this entire bag if I've got to stop and use the bathroom. So that stays in my go bag as well. All right, and we're going to move from there. There's a space between the very back pouch on here and the main pouch that we just went through. I keep some things loose in there. One is food bars. This is a cinnamon 410 calorie food bar that I vacuum sealed. There's another one, so that's something I can eat on the go and slide it back in my pocket if I need to. All right. Okay, I am a clean freak. If I'm get by a decent water source and it's been a few days, I'm going to clean up, period. If it's not freezing cold, I'm going to clean up. And a lot of people say, well, you can make your own soap, you can buy this, you can buy that, but whatever. I keep the trial bottle of shampoo in my bag. Why? It's one of the things I can dump if I need to dump it. And it only weighs 2 ounces, ball and all. So we're not talking about a whole lot of extra weight. If I need to dump it, I can. But you can use this as soap and washing your hair and so on. I'm not going days and days if I can help it without cleaning up. Okay? So I keep that in there. Is it something that I got to have? Hopefully not. But I can dump it. I'd rather have it and want it than need it and not have it. Alright, second thing is I take a lot of tin foil and I fold it up. And you see how I'm unfolding this thing. It'll get pretty big. Several sheets laid together and then folded up. Nice and tight little bundle. So I've got foil if I need to be able to cook something or heat something up. You can make a makeshift little pan out of this or whatever. wrap food in it, put it on the coals of a fire to help cook it. I keep tinfoil in my bag. There's another bundle. You can tell this one's not the same bundle. Why? Because it's not as beat up, wrinkled up as this one. This one ain't been there quite as long. But I keep tinfoil in there, and there's a third little bundle. So I keep tinfoil because it weighs almost nothing, and there's so many uses for it. If I needed to set it up on the back side of a small fire to help reflect that heat back toward me so I didn't have such a big fire, I can do that. I can use it to help boil water. I can use it to wrap food, squirrel, rabbit, whatever, cook it and be able to eat. So I keep that in there. Next thing I keep in that section is plastic trash bags, unscented, plain plastic trash bags, and I've got a bunch of rubber bands wrapped around it. So there's about 6 or 8 bags in here. These bags are large enough I can poke a hole through the top, stick my arms through, make a poncho out of it if that's what I need to do, or I can catch rainwater down to one little corner of it, poke a hole in there and fill my bottles up from rainwater. So ponchos come in handy. I can make a flotation device out of it, you know, fill the thing full of air, tie the end of it. If I needed to cross water, which luckily I don't have to do that to get home for my normal job, I could use that as, tie 2 bags together, use that as a flotation device to help me tote me and my gear across that water if I need to. Is it optimal? No, but we're not talking about optimal. We're talking about crap hit the fan. I got to get across that river one way or the other. So I also keep a few clothespins in there, because if I do get wet and I've got to stop and make shelter and I change into this spare set of clothes, get fire started under my shelter, whatever, I need to dry my clothes out, I can throw them across a piece of 550 paracord, hang them up, and try to get them dry by the fire and the smoke. And the smoke will actually help keep the insects and stuff away too. So I keep several of these in there. I've only picked up one for whatever reason. But so the trash bags, the clothespin, and then my blood sugar drops a little bit, so I keep some peppermint and some cinnamon hard candy in there because it lasts a long time and it weighs very little, and I can eat a few pieces of this and keep my blood sugar up. I'm not a diabetic, but it does drop if I don't eat. And I'm thinking, okay, I may not want to stop and eat in order to get home. I can eat a few pieces of hard candy or that food cinnamon bar and get me home. So this is just in case, okay? All right, now, let's see what else is in there. Military style compass. Laura and I talked about this the other day when she was here. I actually gave her one. But this is a military style compass that I have never taken the time to learn to use. One is I hate to go places I don't know where I am. And second, it's not just like grabbing a regular compass and finding out where you are. I can tell where north is, so you know that's something we're going to do and try to learn that, help each other out with it. So I've got one in there with its case and the instructions and all that. So yeah, I know I should have already learned. Ooh, there's a lot more stuff down there. All right, a couple more clothespin, another thing of aluminum foil or tin foil, and it's something I bought 5 or 6 years back, if not a little longer than that. If I need to cut firewood or cut limbs to make a shelter or whatever, I've got that little hatchet. It's great for small things, but if you want to cut a limb the size of your arm, I'm going to tell you what, this little chainsaw hand saw is awesome. It's got a strap on it. You open that strap up and put your hand through it. You can put your whole hand through, or you can just grab partial like that, wrap it around, stick your 4 fingers through, and grab it. But you throw this thing around a daggum pine limb, which is what we tested it on, and in about 10 seconds, I cut through a pine limb the size of my arm without a whole lot of effort. I mean, it's basically a chainsaw blade that's powered by your arm strength. So you just, hey man, it'll cut. I've tested it, it works well. I've had it for quite a few years, and I keep this year-round in my get-home bag because I might need to build a shelter or get firewood. So this thing comes in handy. It's got its own little pouch that it comes with, and you know, I know there's a lot of people out there say, oh, put a link to it in YouTube. You know what? In the description, I mean, look for it on Amazon, look for it on eBay. That's where I buy a lot of stuff. I don't like going into the Walmart that's around here, as I've said many times before, but you'll find it if you look long enough. Another clothespin. So that's what's in that main open pouch. Now there's one section left of this bag, and that's the front little pouch right here. This is where we just were. That's the main compartment that we emptied a minute ago. So let's go to this one. Let's see what's in there. I don't label the stuff. I just know it's here, and when I pack my bag, I try to pack what I think I'm going to need the soonest on the outside and up top, so that it's easier for me to get to without having to dig to the bottom. So, in other words, if I need clothes, I'm probably going to have to stop for that. I can stop, I can get into the bag and do that because it's at the bottom, and I'm not going to be hurt. If I'm in a hurry up and get the heck out of Dodge situation, I don't care if my clothes are wet, dirty, or whatever. I'm getting out of Dodge. I'll do that crap later. So, first thing I do in there, a little Boy Scout cookware set. Ordered it offline. Offline. It's got the little frying pan. It's got the second pan. It's got the lid. It's got the little pot in there that you can cook with. This thing, I know, it's a Boy Scout deal. Guess what? It works. Okay, is it the best thing in the world? Heck no. Heck no. I never said it was. But for a week or less for you to use, this could get you out of a bind, okay? My plan is to be home in less than half a day, but worst case scenario, 2 days, okay? It depends on what all's going on. So I keep this in there just because it makes life a little bit easier when it's time to eat. So one of the other things, pouch inside here, I'm trying to pull stuff out. I live in Southwest Georgia. Many of you do too. So this is a camouflage net that you put over your head for when you're hunting, but it also keeps a lot of the mosquitoes and the no-see-ums and crap off of you. I hate that mess. So it will help hide your skin, white, black, brown, whatever. It'll help hide that facial skin just because you'll blend in with your surroundings more. So besides the fact keeping the bugs out of your face and out of your nose and out of your ears and everything else, camouflage. So let's keep going. I can't stand gnats. I don't know why Noah didn't exterminate them on the ark, but okay, we'll discuss that later. So there's a guy in Ellaville that makes this stuff called Dixon Got You Covered Bug Spray. It works pretty good for some people it don't. Everybody's chemistry is a little bit different, but I keep a bottle of that in here. And something that does work well for me is that Repel Max. Uh-oh, I got an Avast antivirus thing popping up. Okay, so, but the bug, 40% deep, yeah, I know it's not good for you, but you know what? It keeps the skeeters off of you and keeps the gnats out of your face and all that stuff. So I keep it in a Ziploc bag with that other bug spray in my bag, and if I don't need it, I can ditch it, okay? But I'd rather have it. All right, next thing. Let's see, that compartment is empty. Let me go to this next one. All right, that one's empty. There's a zip container up top. So something a lot of you've already been out there going, boy, where's your emergency blanket? Okay, look, 3 of them Mylar emergency blankets. Why? Because if it's cold outside and I've gotten wet or whatever, I need to get warmed up to keep from getting hypothermia. These things work. You can make a shelter out of them. You can use them to help reflect the heat from a fire back towards you. Don't get them too close, they burn really easy. But also, if I've got my grandkids or something with me, those are young guys, young girls, and you know, if they need something to help keep them warm more than I do, I've got 3 of them in my bag just for that reason, okay? So, emergency blankets, they're cheap and they come in handy. So, a lot of the South Georgia rednecks out there are going, what the heck? I ain't seen no duct tape. Okay. You're not going to see any duct tape in my get home bag. But you will see quite a few of the regular black zip ties And then you're going to see there's a couple of the 24-inch big white plastic zip ties, and then some medium-sized white plastic zip ties in this bag. So they come in handy for many reasons. But if I was to get into a situation where I had somebody with me that I couldn't trust, that I needed to keep secure, they're not going to break them big white zip ties. There's a reason the cops use them. Those things are tough, and it'll help you stay safe. Okay? So, all right. Next thing I've got, that pouch is empty. Those two are empty. Inside's empty. So, talking about duct tape. What is this? Anybody tell me? It is a roll of Velcro. 1.5 inch wide Velcro. Guess what about Velcro and duct tape? Duct tape, you stick it, you peel it off, you're pretty much done with it. I can use the Velcro, put it right back on itself. So no, it will not replace duct tape in some situations, but Velcro comes in very handy when you need it to, because I could wrap this around a tree, whatever size the tree is, fold it back to itself, and it'll stay there if I need to post a note or whatever to relay messages. I keep this roll in my go bag. I ain't ever seen anybody else with that in their get home bag, but I keep that in there because it could come in handy. And if I don't need it, I'll ditch it. So those of you who know me, I keep Louisiana sweet tea with me all the time, and I've talked a lot, so I need a little bit. Excuse me. All right. So I've got, I think, one more compartment. 550 paracord. Now, why it's called 550 paracord, it's supposed to be ready for 550 pounds. Yada, yada, yada. Okay, it's lightweight, it's very strong, and I've got two 300-foot pieces in this bag. Okay, so there's 600 feet in here, plus I've got a 100-foot piece in here. If I need to use it for shelter and stuff, I'm going to use a smaller piece. But if I actually need rope for whatever reason, paracord comes in handy. There's a lot in here. I actually bought a 1,000-foot or 1,000-yard, I can't remember, spool of it several years back when I opened my bait and tackle and stuff. Then a buddy bought a big chunk of it, but most of the rest stayed with me. Alright, so that front compartment is completely empty. There's nothing on the molly webbing on the front. The main side, all that's empty. Everything back here, side compartments are empty. So that's all. This bag's empty. So what did I miss? What do you guys keep in your get home bag that you really think that I need? And why do you think I need it? Or why do you think that you need it? Alright. I'm fine. I know I say no negative comments, but I'm not asking for that. I'm asking, if you don't agree with the reason that I keep something in my bag, tell me about it. Tell me, okay, why do you keep that? Da 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 da. And I'll try to respond to any questions and stuff that I've got. So anyway, the first video that I've actually tried to do on my laptop, and I'm running right now at 38.5 minutes. It's going to take a while for this to upload, and I'm probably going to just, I don't have internet at home because where I live it's just not available, so I'm probably just going to hook this to my hotspot on my phone and let it upload from now until morning and see if it's done when I get up in the morning, because I'm not going to stay up 4 hours for this to upload. But I'm going to go ahead and end this thing out. Please leave your positive comments and suggestions down in the comments box. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button if you liked what I've done for you today. If you learned something, if it helped you in any way or form, please hit that like button and share the video whenever possible. A lot of preppers out there do not talk about prepping to other people. They've got their little tight-knit group that they talk with, and they share information with, but there's a lot of people that just don't even know they're preppers. So you may have friends and family out there that are preppers that you don't even know about, but if you share this video for me, maybe I can reach them. Maybe I can get more input back on my channel. Suggestions on what videos y'all would like to see me do, I do have at least a part 2 to the special guest video that we did this past Sunday. It's with the notes she made, and knowing her and me, both of us like to get into that prepping conversation. It's probably going to be a part 2 and a part 3. But when she's available, not working, and I'm not working, we'll get together again and try to finish off that video series as well. But guys, I really appreciate it. Y'all remember the 2 most important things out of everything you ever heard me say. Jesus loves you, and so do I. Thank you for watching.